Got that. Got that. Gotta share. And last but not least, good morning. Good morning and good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing great. Hope everybody's doing better than great. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Hope everybody's doing great. Let me tune my lights down a little bit. They're a little too high. Oh, there we go. That looks better. I could actually see myself without shining. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Vertuvian, Glenn, Omar, Ivano, Rachel, Eagle Beagle, John, Ali. Good morning, Ali. Brian, Dave, Jesse, Piet Brock. Good morning from Netherlands. Look at you. David, Sassy Trainer, Roddy's in the house. Omar, glad you're doing better, Roddy. Lydia, we got our Mulfo, Brian. Too cold moving to the islands. Sarah, good morning to you. Cam, good morning. Darren, William, Devin, Jack, Art. And if I miss somebody, I do apologize. Penny, how are you? Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody here. George, good morning. Good morning, everybody. We'll be starting in just a few minutes. We got Kim. We got Michael, we got Bob, Deanna, Rice. We'll be starting in a minute. I got a couple of emails asking me if everything was okay with me because I didn't post anything on the Telegram channel yesterday after 1 p.m. As I mentioned to you guys yesterday morning, yesterday was a really, really busy day for me. It was, I usually don't have many meetings and all that, but I had two meetings and a haircut appointment yesterday. And my haircut is 45 minutes away from here, and I have to. She's like the only hairdresser here that actually does a good job. So once every 6 weeks, I disappear second half of the day. I apologize, but I made sure that there was nothing really outstanding or anything like that. But thank you for the nice emails. I'm good. Everything's great. I just needed to get some meetings in, and I'm back. Kevin, Edgar, Robert, Andrew, could you take a look at? I can't take a look at anything right now, Andrew. I have an agenda. If you want me to take a look at something, send me an email. Naples fan, how are you? Good, good, good. I'm glad everybody's doing well. Just so you guys know, I will be having a class. I don't have a link for that class yet, but I will be having my VIP room. Here's the link for that. Let me get you that. Let me get you a link for Customer Service Live, also known as the Cam and Gustavo Show. And later on, I'll get you guys a link. Now, I want to show you guys something interesting before we start. Okay. Hey, Dr. Serena, how are you? Good to see you here. Heacock fan. So, a few things I wanted to go over. First off, yesterday I gave an exit signal in the pit on the following stock. It was, what was it? Las Vegas Sands. I want to show you guys something. It was this stock right here. Ironically, if I waited till the end, I could have just gotten out at a break even. But nonetheless, I got out of the stock yesterday because bar chart and TC2000 and Nasdaq all said that they were reporting yesterday after the closing bell. I verified that they were reporting yesterday after the closing bell. I even went up to here. I look. Nasdaq, LVS earnings. Here, they even had it right here. See that earnings date? You see, that, guys? Earnings date January 22nd. You see earnings date January 22nd, and my TC2000 had the same thing. Guess what? I found out after the market closed yesterday that earnings are going to happen the 29th. Now, how often does that happen? Honestly, it happens all the time where one will be off and another, and then the rest of them will be okay. But I've never once had it this bad. Okay. I've never once seen it this bad before. So I'm not blaming the exchange. I mean, I have to take the responsibility, but when you go to 3 or 4 different sources and they all say the 22nd, it's very, very, very hard to have to second guess. Usually what will happen is this. One source will say 29th, and then 5 sources will say the 22nd, and you can kind of rely on that. But yesterday, everything was saying the 22nd, and then a few people were saying the 29th, and a few people said it already happened. It was all over the place. But I'm not going to do forensic accounting research into earnings if the exchange doesn't have it right. Remember, the company can make a change at any time. So we're subject to the company, but 99.9% of the time, this does not happen. Okay. Just wanted to let you know this does not happen. After the close, Eagle says January 23rd now, and it's not. It's supposed to be on the 29th. I think Carlos actually called the company yesterday. It got to that point, guys. But it usually doesn't happen. It usually doesn't happen. What does happen is one will say one and then 5 will say another one. One will say one and then 6 will say the other one. That happens all the time, and then you just rely on the 6th. So I always double check. But in this case, I don't even know. This is what I'm saying, Cam. But the other day they were saying 22nd. And TC2000 was saying 22nd. The exchange, Nasdaq, was saying 22nd. So again, it's strange. It's very, 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 very strange. And it doesn't happen very often. It happens, honestly, in all of my years of doing that, I might have seen a squirrely date like that once before. There's different dates all the time, but usually it's one will be off and then the rest will be fine. To have it like this, where one will be off, and where they're all off of each other, I've never seen that before. It was a very small loss, but it was unfortunate because we didn't have to take the loss. We were less than a point away, and if we waited till the end of the day, we would have been like 5 cents away from being profitable. But I can't go back in time. Things will happen. I can't control what the exchange says, okay? And it is very, very strange. I'm not trying to make excuses. It's just very, very frustrating. That's the first thing I wanted to talk about. Hey, Dr. Serena, that's beautiful. Folks, thumbs up. If you haven't given us a thumbs up, give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying this. And my class will be at 2 p.m. today, not at 1 p.m., at 2 p.m. I'll be giving 3 gap trades for you guys today. Now, let's talk a little bit about the market, okay? Let's talk a little bit about the market. I want to ask you an interesting question. What did QQQ do yesterday? Not today. Let's not look at today. I want to show you something. I broke even on Las Vegas Sands. Good for you, Eagle Beagle, this morning for a profit of, good for you. Good for you. Glad to hear that. Good for you. Hey, Peter, how are you? So what did SMH do yesterday? It broke out. It broke out. We had a breakout. Okay. What did QQQ do yesterday? It was up 1.29%. We had a really strong day yesterday, right? What did the SPY do yesterday? It was up. All 3 indices were up. All 3 indices were up yesterday. That's what I'm saying, Richard. It's all screwed up. But the thing is, usually you don't see that. Usually you'll see one service screwed up, and then the rest of them will get it right. You don't see 5 different services with 5 different dates. I still can't get a normal date. This thing is still wrong. It's still showing the 20. The Nasdaq is showing. If the exchange can't get it right, how are you supposed to know the right earnings date? Right? Good morning, Dennis. This is what I'm saying. It doesn't usually go this way. Good morning to you too, Richard. It's freezing here too, and it's raining. So I want to show you guys something. All the indexes went up yesterday. Forget about this morning. All the indexes went up yesterday. I want to show you guys something. 90-day breakouts, okay? Yesterday we had 200, wait a minute. The day before yesterday, or going into yesterday, coming into yesterday morning, we had 216 stocks breaking out, right? Follow along. I want to show you this. 216 stocks breaking out on Tuesday morning. The market goes straight up Wednesday, yesterday, straight up. Coming into today, keep this number in mind. We have 147 stocks breaking out. Now, I have a question for you. I have a very interesting question for you. Okay. How is it that the SPY gapped up and closed 3.3 points higher? The QQQ closed over 1% higher with a gap up. A gap up. They all gapped up. They didn't just close higher. They had a gap up and closed higher. The Nasdaq, S&P, they all closed higher, but the number of stocks went from 216, and this morning we're at 147. Can you guys explain that to me? Isn't that interesting? And this morning, the Nasdaq is down 100 points and the Dow's up barely 59. But that's not here nor there. Why did yesterday the market go up hard? The S&P made an all-time high, but the number of stocks breaking out from yesterday to today went from 216 to 147. Can anybody answer that question for me? Everybody was happy. Yay, we're breaking out. It's not strange at all, Robert. Stocks that haven't been participating in the strength yesterday. Carlos has it right. Both Stacy and Beloved, you have it right, but you mentioned the opposite end of the coin. So, what did RSP do yesterday? You guys all had it right, but you mentioned the wrong. No, not profit. It had nothing to do with profit taking. It had to do with the fact that it wasn't a short squeeze. This is very dangerous. Okay, so Robert and Scott, what you're saying is very, very dangerous because I actually think you believe this stuff that you're writing. There's no such thing as profit taking. The word profit taking doesn't exist because you see, Scott, for every profit, there's a loss. There's two sides to every trade. So the word profit taking doesn't exist. And short squeezes don't apply to S&P 500. You guys should know better than that by now. Short squeezes only apply to small cap stocks. And there's no such thing as profit taking. Stop writing nonsense. Okay? If you don't know, just say we don't know. But don't write stuff that other people will lag on to and start thinking that's the right answer. Please don't do that if you don't know. Okay. So we just learned two very important things. There's no such thing as a short squeeze on large cap stocks, and there's no such thing as a profit taking. The word profit taking was invented by CNBC and public media to make you feel better about days that markets go down. For every winner, there's a loser. For every loser, there's a winner. It's a sub-zero game. There's no such thing as profit taking. Why not say loss taking? Okay? So here is exactly why it happened. Now, you're guessing, I'm not. Listen to what I'm telling you right now. It's because the majority of stocks fell on their face. So yes, the rally was not caused by the broad market. It was caused by a handful of stocks. You have narrowing of momentum once again. Let me show you. Yesterday, we had 57% of stocks trading above the 200-day moving average. Right now, we have 55. Okay? Folks, you don't have to guess. I'm straight up giving you the answer. It's because a very few stocks rallied at the expense of other stocks. Remember yesterday when I was showing you this, I was showing you how the Russell 2000 was coming into the day negative? Do you remember that? Okay. All right. Thank you, Dr. Serena. Smaller groups of companies push the market higher. What do we call that? Increased vulnerability. Increased vulnerability. Now, I wanted to go long Microsoft and a few FANG stocks yesterday, but I didn't because I saw this coming a mile away. I didn't post it because I left for the day. But that's one of the reasons why I was holding trades back from you guys yesterday. Okay. This number is not going up, it's going down. Okay. And this number here went from 28 to 49. So the number of stocks breaking down is increasing and the number of stocks breaking up is decreasing. But Roger, the market made a new high. I read CNBC yesterday. We made an all-time high. Yes, the market's going higher. Yay, yay, yippee, yippee, purple chippy. No, it's not. The market's running out of momentum right here. You could see that right here. Do you see why it's important to pay attention to all these things I'm showing you? Because you could have seen this coming yesterday before the close. Okay? Very, 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 very important. Very, very important. And let me show you something else. No, I don't want to confuse you right now. I'm not going to show it to you right now. I'll show it to you during VIP room today. Okay. So I want you guys to understand that it's not a short squeeze. It wasn't profit taking. It was the fact that hedge funds decided to put money into a handful of stocks like Netflix yesterday, like Nvidia, those type of stocks that ran up. Okay? Very, 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 very important. We don't have a strong rally, and we didn't have a strong rally yesterday. Big, 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 big problems. That's funny. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So again, I want you guys to understand, if you can watch these things during the day, you can actually see if momentum is increasing or decreasing. And there's another way to watch this, and I'll show you today. If you have Thinkorswim, you can use the VOLD indicator, $VOLD, VOLD. And if you have TC2000, you would use the $2104 indicator, which is the same thing as the VOLD indicator. Here, I'll post it for you in the chat. Thinkorswim equals VOLD, TC2000 equals T2104. Okay? Capiche? All right, let's continue now. So the market does not have strong momentum. We have blue chips actually breaking out. We don't have anything on the upside today, and we have divergence. Not a good look. Not a good look. Now, one good silver lining is we're going to have a nice gap down at the open today. If we have a nice gap down at the open today, we'll be able to assess which stocks are really strong, and hopefully we'll be able to trade to the long side later today. Eagle says, we got a report today. I don't think we have consumer confidence today. We just have jobless claims today. And I don't have one for TradeStation HG, but they have one. If you email me later, I'll give it to you. I'll find it and I'll give it to you. They have one. They have one for TradeStation. It's a very, very old indicator that we've been using forever. It's the up volume versus down volume. I'll give it to you. Volt, Thinkorswim shows what exactly. Stacy, as I mentioned, I'll do a session on it today in the VIP room. Here's the link. I'll take it apart and I'll show you what I look for. And I'll show you how yesterday you could have seen signs that the market was not nearly as strong as it was. I just don't want to get into it now because I have to open up TC2000 and I have a lot to talk about today. We don't have a lot of, but I wanted to show you this because we talk about momentum all the time here. We talk about momentum, and I wanted you to see how the market didn't just close higher. S&P made an all-time high yesterday, and the number of stocks making 90-day highs went from 216 to 147. Ugh. Yeah, Stacy, come on by. It'll be fun. I just posted the link. I'll show it to you. There's no cost or anything like that. I'll answer all your questions. And hopefully I'll help you guys make some money. All right. Jobless claims. I don't really want to even talk about it because look what they're expecting. And again, this has been the best number in this entire 5-6 year period with the COVID and all that. This number never moved. Once it went like up and then it went down. And even when it moved, it was like 280 or 270 for like 1 week. This number has been in the low 200s now for as far back as I can remember. David, is today Thursday or Wednesday? Today's Thursday. I don't see all these retail sales. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Is there something I'm missing here? How many things do I watch? Not too many, Murray. I don't watch too many things. I really do. The Clyde watches all that stuff. I don't watch too many stuff. I didn't trust yesterday's breakout action, so I stayed out and did some overdue errands. Good for you, Penny. That's actually what I did, but not by choice. Yeah, I don't see any of those reports you guys are talking about. All I see is jobless claims and petroleum status report. Today's Thursday, right? Yeah, this is Thursday, guys. I don't see these. Eagle Beagle, both Eagle Beagle. We got report today. Consumer confidence. No, I don't see it. And then, yeah, I don't see it. And this is straight from U.S. Econo Day. This is pretty accurate. This would tell us if we had retail sales. I would know if we had retail sale. Canadian retail sales. Yeah, so I don't see it. I don't see these reports you guys are talking about. Earnings. We got American Airlines, FCX, ISRG, GE's coming out, Chip Stock, Texas Instrument, folks, and CSX is coming out today. We have a pretty good range, and I will talk about earnings later today. Yes, sentiment is Friday. This is what I always use, and this has never failed me. This isn't like the earnings, like the earnings. This is pretty straight up, and this gets published long in advance. Tomorrow we have existing home sales and consumer confidence. All right, let's talk about the stock market, and then I'll get into technicals. Okay. Oh, Canadian retail. Yeah, we don't look at Canadian retail sales. Folks, this has never done me wrong. I've never, ever, this has never, ever in my life once done me wrong. Okay? Canadian retail sales. Okay. So let's talk about this. Nasdaq, the markets are down a little bit, taking a breather after a strong rally this week. A strong rally and hardly any momentum this week. We should add that, right? Investors turning their attention to President Trump's speech at the World Economic Forum. I'm really looking forward to hearing that. Corporate earnings, I'm looking forward to seeing that, and I will be talking about them. Thank you, Cam. And I will be talking about that in the VIP room today. This is a very important week for earnings. This week, next week, and the week after. S&P rose to a new record high, and blue chips and tech-heavy Nasdaq did a 5-week high, all while momentum levels went from 216 to 147. We have to they don't talk about that, right? So we have to be the party poopers here. We have to add that to the mix. It would be kind of nice if they said that, but they don't want to do that. Netflix surged. Oracle surged. Oracle has big market cap. I really love this whole Stargate infrastructure project. The only thing I don't like is the fact that Elon Musk and Trump came to blows. It hasn't even been 3 months after the election, but they already came to blows with Musk undercutting Trump on what he said about it yesterday. I'm not going to get into that. You can all watch the news, but there's already friction. I warned you. I said it's not going to take very long. I just hope that Trump doesn't pull a Giuliani on Musk. I really do. I mean, I really hope he does not pull a Giuliani on Musk. Procter & Gamble gained. Johnson & Johnson fell. So we have consumer staples, folks, have not looking good. I have 3 consumer staple stocks on my list. Still not looking very good. Thank you, Richard, for that. I appreciate it. And if you guys want to chime in with some of these earnings that already came out this morning, like Richard just did, and Dr. Serena, I would highly appreciate it because you guys would actually help me out because I don't know what these numbers are. So if you, yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right? How long is it going to take for them? But I love the idea. I love the idea. The idea is awesome. I'm just thinking, how long is it going to take them to turn on each other, right? The ego's there. I mean, I hope Trump doesn't pull a Giuliani on him. That's all I'm going to say. Yes, I created my own slang, pull a Giuliani. Yes, I said it, pull a Giuliani on it. Murray, we're going to have to get a Giuliani. You know who Giuliani is? Come on, guys. You know who Giuliani is, right? Pull a Giuliani on him. You guys know what that means. Turn on him. Yeah. Yeah. So let me know. Do we have anything yet for Texas Instrument? Do we have anything yet for CSX? Let me know. I'm curious. I'm curious how this will go. And tomorrow we have American Express. and a utility stock. This is very important right now. Yeah, Rudy Giuliani, you guys know, came and beat earnings. Good, 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 good. Oh, the guidance was worse than expected. Ooh. Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right, cool. But thank you for the feedback. I do appreciate it. I don't have all the information as you guys might think I do. Market participants are looking ahead for Trump in Switzerland. God bless the guy. I don't know where he has the energy to fly around the world every other day. I barely have enough energy to drive to work. I want to have energy like him when I'm older. That's all I'm going to say. We have a lot of earnings today. We're still at 7.5. That hasn't changed. That hasn't changed. I'm not sure if it's. I'll take a look. If you guys, hey, do me a favor, Penny HG, send me an email so I can remember, and I'll respond to you, and I'll give you the right one for TradeStation. I promise. And I'll also find one for TradingView, and I'll post it on Telegram. They all have it. It's just called different name and different ones. We got initial jobless claims coming out in a few minutes. We got crude oil inventories. That's all that's coming out today, according to this. And that perfectly aligns with this. And again, I have not had issues with Econo Day ever, ever. I've never once had an issue with Econo Day, like messing up earnings dates or things like that. But this really bothers me. This really, really bothers me. We could have had a potential winner, and we had to take a loss because I didn't want to stay through earnings. Futures are now pricing in absolutely no chance in hell that they're going to lower rates. Diet Coke button. Thanks, HG. I appreciate it. I'll get back to you just a couple hours today. Give me a few hours. Europe is down just a hair, not really giving us any upside, but they saw the highest winning streak that they'd pushed the benchmark to a level they haven't seen since 2000. Fueled by robust corporate earnings, expectation of additional rate cuts from Europe, technology led the decline on Thursday. Decline. Folks, I'm telling you, things are not as pretty as they appear on the outskirts. China closed higher following reassurance. Oh, well, that's it. We got reassurance from China. Let the party start. Brokerage and insurance stocks led the gains on Thursday. Notice nothing here on technology. And notice we don't really have a lot of tech stocks coming out. I'd love to know if Texas Instrument comes out before the open or after. I'm going to check right now. Probably after the close if I had to guess. Yeah, after the closing bell, and they're not looking all that great right now. Anyways, I'm just thinking out loud. Japan closed higher, hit a 2-week high amid risk sentiment. Technology and electronic stocks outperformed on Thursday, so they got a little boost. Everybody's waiting for them to raise rates. Government data released Thursday showed Japanese exports increased for the third consecutive month, reaching a record high due to robust demand for chip-making machines, while imports experienced growth. That's good. Earnings. Electric Arts plunged. We followed the stock. They undercut their guidance, but again, they did it during earnings. Alaskan Airlines, I've been pretty bullish on this stock. I told you how much I like this stock. It was very, very strong when a lot of stocks were breaking down, and now I'm going to keep an eye on this stock. I really like what they're doing right now. They're increasing their flights. It's a really solid company from what I understand. So I'm going to start looking at this more. And I like how the stock moves, but they had really good earnings. Now, this is an interesting company. I gave you this as one of my top performing stocks with Trump taking office. I did it during the we had a guru roundtable last week, and I told you I like transport stocks. And one of the reasons why I told you I like this stock is I think trucking and transports are going to be really huge because of what's going on with Los Angeles. People don't realize it's going to be $250 billion liability, and there's going to be a lot of trucks moving a lot of building equipment across the country. And this is one of the biggest ones. So I think that these transport trucks, especially if energy prices come down, I think they're going to do very, very well in the coming months. Now, we got our link for the 2 p.m. session. So I'll be doing a cool gap class, and I'll teach you something new about gaps that I actually realized, didn't discover, but realized just a few months ago. So that's going to be at 2 p.m. Then I'm going to have my VIP room at noon today. Here's that. And here's the link for customer service live. A few folks have asked me about that. Let me post that here. Still below the 50 in the election VWAP KNX. Thanks, Jeff. Again, this was not a buy now. This was folks were asking me what stock I think will be strong this year. So this is more of a longer term projection. It's based on fundamentals. It's not really based on technicals, Jeff. This is based on what I believe will happen. They asked me what industries I believe will be really hot this year. And I said transports because of what's going on in California. And also because energy prices are going down historically with Trump in the House. And usually when energy prices go down, the biggest expense, folks, the biggest expense for transport companies is energy prices. When I was in high school, one of my closest friends' father had a trucking company. And I remember when energy prices would go down, they would be killing it. And when energy prices would go up, they would be out of business basically because of energy prices. So again, let's see. Yep. Nothing to, yeah. I mean, this is nothing. I'm telling you, if they start talking about this, even talking about this, just blah 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 blah. This is nothing. This is nothing. Anything in the this is the number that we've been seeing for the last 6 years. There's nothing here. I'm oh, but it's 213. It's no, it's anything 250, 260, 270. It's perfectly fine. 190 to 220, consensus 218, 223. This is nothing. Nothing. Yes, I agree with you, Eagle Beagle. I agree with you, Eagle Beagle. Okay, let's talk about technicals now that we've gone through the fundamentals. And I could think it's better to go through the fundamentals first and then go through the technicals. US dollar is just kind of sitting there. It's kind of waiting to see what Trump does right now. It really is waiting to see what Trump does next. We are below the 8-day EMA, but we're above the 50 days. So we're kind of pinched here, and we need to see if we're going to have another pullback to the upside or we're going to break the 50-day, break this major support level, which we have right here at the 50-day, and come down all the way to the 100-day and the 200-day, or are we going to come back down up? If we come up, we have to break above this level right here. We got to break above this level to go higher. So right now we're kind of not here, not there. Truckers make six figures salaries, and RS is right. Easy for trucks to burn after, yeah, fuel cost. Yeah, my father had a trucking business when I was a kid, a little kid, for just like a year. He didn't like it. But a good friends of mine had a trucking business. I remember they were swimming in money. They were literally hiring people from everywhere when energy prices were low. And then when energy prices would just go up a little bit, it was like a different world. So US dollar is just kind of sitting and waiting. And I think the US dollar is sitting and waiting to see what Trump does with all these tariffs. I think it's going to be very important. And also, we're in the middle of earnings season. Hey guys, how about some thumbs up? We stalled. We got almost 492 people here. We've only been here half the time. I know a lot of people just come here for the trade alerts, but I think this is so much more important. Bond market. I warned you yesterday. I told you yesterday that the bond market wasn't up yesterday, which was a big, big red flag for me. And the bond market is now even lower. The bond market is now, here, the bond market is now at this is all the VWAPs, the election, the quadruple witching. We need to pass this to go down, but otherwise, I'm not really liking what I'm seeing. I don't like the fact that we bounced down hard from this. But if we continue moving lower, you're not going to see the strength in the tech stocks. You're going to see weakness. You're going to see lower momentum levels. This is very interest rate sensitive, and it's not moving the right way. Gold. Well, gold is moving higher actually because US dollar is kind of sitting below the 8-day and doesn't know what to do with itself. And with bond prices coming from here to here, this means there's lower interest rates, at least in the short term. which is good for gold. Gold is almost at our breakout level. We're not there yet. And if we don't make it to this level, and I don't think we will, I would be very careful, and I'll tell you why. Because if the economy starts getting better and this starts rising, it's going to boost gold, but it's also going to temper the U.S. dollar. So my suggestion is to keep an eye on the U.S. dollar and gold because they are very, very inverse to each other. What about cryptos? Well, I didn't like the fact that cryptos were not strong yesterday. They weren't really all that strong. And right now, look at cryptos. It's not engulfing, but we're already at the 8-day EMA and we're breaking down. Now, I've told you that I have a suspicion that crypto is leading the tech sector. I'm going to do some back tests. I haven't had a chance yet, but I don't like the fact that we couldn't break above this gap. We went into the gap. See this? Look, we went into the gap. We couldn't break the gap, and then we broke down. That creates a pivot, and this pivot now is below this high. So now we have, oops, man, they need to take my drawing license away. Look at this. I can't even draw this damn thing. Oh, God. All right. This is supposed to touch this area right here. I don't even know what to do with it now. Here, let's see. Oh, this is terrible. Forget it. I'll draw another line. See this line right here? But I want it to connect right there. This is painful. I think you guys understand. Basically a lower high right here. Okay? All right, let's move to volatility. Maybe, but I know I tried right-clicking on it. It won't let me do it. I'll figure it out. Let this be the biggest problem in my life. All right, volatility. Volatility is still near the low. Volatility has not really gained too much. So we're going to keep an eye on volatility. The levels are going to be 16.5 and 15. If we break 15 today, now here's what I'm looking at right now. Based on what I'm seeing right now, the market is going to open lower on the Nasdaq. It's going to be a gap down. We haven't had a gap down in quite some time. A gap down is very healthy because we'll be able to see what's really strong and what's not strong. So this is very beneficial to us. After the gap down, what you're going to look at is volatility, and you're going to see volatility stays here, or if it spikes. If volatility stays here, the odds are we're going to come back up. If volatility starts going up and the bond market starts going down on a 5-minute level, it's bad. But if you see volatility coming down, breaking breaking this level right here, breaking the 15 level, and if you see the bonds on a 5-minute or a 10-minute chart coming down, that's good. But if you see the bond market coming down, okay, and you see volatility spiking up, it's not going to be good. So keep an eye on dollar sign volatility. Keep your eye on the 16.5, 15 level. I think we should spike today, but maybe we won't. Keep your eye on the bond market, especially intraday. This is after the report. This is giving us a little bit of a reprieve. Higher means lower rates. A little bit of reprieve. We're in the gap now, but keep an eye on this. And also keep your eye on momentum levels. Are they increasing or decreasing during the day? All right. Very, very, very important. And other platforms will tell, you could set this up on other platforms too. But again, to go from 216 to 247 on the day that the S&P makes an all-time high and a gap up, that's bad. That's very, 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 very bad. Get rid of the header. I don't know if I can get rid of the header. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I would have to get rid of all of that. I don't want to do all of that. I'm just gonna here. I'll figure. I'll have Matt do it for me. I don't want to waste my time with this. All right. So that's where we are in terms of the stocks. Now let's talk about the actual stock market, right? It'd be kind of weird if we didn't talk about the stock market. Oh, and post some thumbs up. Why not? Why don't you? All right. So yesterday we gapped right here. Remember I drew this trend line for you and I said we need to get above this trend line. There's a lot of resistance here. A lot. Look at this. Look at the amount of resistance we have here. A lot of resistance here. So, and we're having a hard time getting past it. We need to get past all this. We need to get past this line. We need to go above here. We need to get above 610. If today we start breaking down, that's a pivot right there. And that'll just confirm that we have a lot of resistance right here. Yeah, I tried right clicking. It doesn't work. It doesn't matter. I don't want to mess with it now. So anyway, this is where we're at right now. And again, I want to see us go higher or lower. And as of right now, it looks like we're going to break lower. What about QQQ? QQQ is already below yesterday's low. We're already in the gap right there. And if this continues down, we're going to be kissing the 8-day EMA. Also, the fact that we couldn't break out of this level yesterday, not good. Not good. Look, we gapped up yesterday, and the number of stocks making a 90-day high went from 216 to 150. That's bad. So again, I want to see if this is going to come up or come down, and we're not going to get a clear indication of that, at least for the first 45 minutes today. Keep an eye on the market the first half hour, 45 minutes. See what's moving. See if RSP versus MAGS is moving. But this tells me that unless we start coming right back up, this is going to just fill the gap and come right back down. Oh, good, Cam. Good. All right. What about RSP? RSP is actually a little firm. I like RSP, and I'm going to be looking at RSP for a breakout to the upside to continue. We're already above today. We're already above, not right now, but we already went above the high. Unless this continues breaking downs and engulfs this candle, I'm going to be looking for this for a breakout to the upside on higher volume. Okay, I'm going to look at for continuation. And by the way, they're up this morning. They're up this morning. So you could see where the downside action is. Mega caps. Mega caps. See, inside day, we need to make sure this breaks out. So what I want to see today is I want to see mega caps, Nasdaq, S&P take out the high. If we don't take out yesterday's high on all the major indices, it's not going to be pretty. If we don't take out the high on all the major indices within the first couple hours, this is all just going to break down and come right back here. So you see how we're just kind of sitting here right now? And blue chips are stronger today. MAGs are not. And you can see right here, look, the Dow's up 26 points. Nasdaq is down 100. Yes, and that's divergence, not good. So we had a gap up yesterday with low momentum. Volatility didn't really move, but the bond market is now finally starting to break down. So again, we should see either today a major shift back to the downside, revert back to the downside, or we're going to see a nice big surprise, but that surprise is not going to come in the morning. The morning, we're going to have a weak opening, and I want to see if we can get past above yesterday's high. So let me show you once again, and I'm going to try to be as clear as I can with you. I want to see us take out 606.07 on the SPY. On RSP, I want to see us take it out and trade there. I want to see us take, like we did right now, but I want to see us remain there. I want to see us take out 182.21. See, right now we're 181.65, so we need to go above 182.21. Dow Jones, again, I'm just showing you we need to take out these highs. If we don't take out these highs like we're doing right now on the Dow, nothing good is going to happen. Now, let's talk about SMH. We had a clear breakout yesterday. We had a clear breakout. Now, we were in the gap. How come we just broke down and went right down here? I'll explain that to you. A lot of times, and I said this yesterday, a lot of times when you have a gap and you want to get into the gap, it's going to be hard to get into that gap because there's a lot of resistance here. Look at how much resistance this has created. So it's not unusual for when you're starting to get, and I'm going to talk about this at 2 p.m. for quite a bit, and I'm going to talk about this at noon quite a bit, but I'm changing my opinions of how I trade gaps, and I'll explain that to you later. But my suggestion is Don't go for the first breakout. Wait for the confirmation because there's a lot of resistance when you enter these gap areas on the upside and downside. And I'll talk about that. In principle, I like how this is looking. I do. And I like how the lows are getting higher. I like how the highs are getting higher. I like how it's taking a long time to break out, but it may be just a little premature. The fact that we made a higher high is good. And as long as we stay in this area and don't undo this all the way, we'll be good. If we hit the 8-day EMA, there's a good chance we're going to come right back here and make another higher high and come back down here. But again, be careful. My suggestion would be to wait till we're above the high of yesterday, which is a 270. But even if you got in at 265, just be careful. As long as we don't go back down to the 8-day EMA, we're okay. But this is not a big surprise. This area is very hard, thick-headed. It has to knock several times to get through it. And I'll talk about that, Carlos, extensively. And I'll talk about the change we're going to be making to the GAP program as a result. And I'll give you some tickers. And I think you guys will appreciate this. All right? So that's today at 2 p.m. And VIP room today is going to be at noon. Here's the link for that. And let me give you customer service live where Cam and Gustavo and Chip sometimes can answer all of your questions and make all of your dreams come true. Wink, wink. All right. Well, hopefully make all your dreams come true. I don't like how choppy this is. That's the thing. I don't like how choppy this is. See, the fact that this is choppy is making me more concerned about the breakout. But we did have a clear breakout, and we did close above that level. So we do have an official breakout. Okay. Sectors. I already told you momentum actually declined. I'll be watching this all day today. We went from 216 to 147 as the market made an all-time high. That's very, very bad. And the number of stocks declining actually increased from 28 to 49, which is still very negligible. Ironically, it was easier for me to find down stocks than up stocks today. Now, as far as sector strength, why did this just move? Why did this move? I didn't put this here. I put this here. Huh, weird. Okay, I'm going to have to, somebody's been messing with my, 1 second. Somebody's been messing with my sheet here. There we go. That's it. I moved my cheese back just now. Okay. So remember what I told you yesterday? Yesterday, if you don't, I'll go back to yesterday. We had crypto all the way up here, and we had technology down here. And I said this is a big red flag because technology is spread out everywhere. And until technology starts getting together in one place, it's going to be very difficult for us to generate momentum. Yes, I did say it yesterday. So can you talk about the magic? I will, RJ, in greater detail. I mentioned it, but I will talk about it in terms of how it applies to everything else. So yesterday, exactly 24 hours ago, I was talking about how this was on its own island, how I like Bitcoin, and I liked semiconductors, but I don't like the fact that technology, QQQ, communication, was all the way down here. They're too spread out. And I said, I need to see them more closer together. So today, let's see if they're closer together. Semiconductors, Bitcoin, technology, QQQ. Wait a minute, what happened? They're now together. Even though we're divergent, even though we had some stocks breaking down, even though momentum is weaker, we are starting to see strength, sector strength lead. That's fantastic. The only sector that's not here is consumer discretionary because consumer discretionary has a lot of things like retail in it, box stores, consumer staples. Consumer staples, consumer discretionary, it's a very slippery slope. But look where the most of it is. Communication's still not there, but QQQ is, technology is, Bitcoin is, semiconductors are. We've got some degree of clarity here. We still have a lot of spreadiness amount through everything else, and you have blue chips all over the place, but at least technology is starting to come together. Now, if yesterday we had this scenario, I would be a lot more bullish on tech. Remember what I said yesterday? We only had chips here. We didn't and Bitcoin. We didn't have anything else here. Now we have some support. The question is it going to remain here? Is consumer discretionary and communication going to firm up, or is it going to come back down? That's the big question. That's the big question, okay? That's the trillion dollar question, if you will. So we don't have that. We still have a lot of divergence, but I like how technology is coming up. And again, just because we're down 100 points today doesn't mean we're going to close down 100 points today. Okay? But I'm not liking this so far. The first hour is going to be very important today. Very, very important. I want to see if we have a gap down and it starts getting filled, or if we have a gap down and then it just starts breaking down and the Dow starts weakening. The first hour today is going to be very, 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 very important. Okay? Only hit the thumb once, it toggles off. Oh, I see. That makes sense. Yeah, please hit the thumbs button, support us if you haven't done so. It helps the YouTube algorithm, from what I understand, get more people organically to come to our show. All right, so we still have some fragmentation. Technology starting to look a little better here, but not internally. You don't have a lot of stocks breaking out, but you still have over 100 stocks. So you still have upside momentum. What I don't like is I don't like the fact that crypto is breaking down. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that the bond market is weaker. So here are the things that I don't like. I don't like the fact that bond market's weaker. I don't like the fact that crypto's weaker. I don't like the fact that we still have fragmentation here. What I do like is the fact that implied volatility didn't really go anywhere yesterday, which is good. So what I'm hoping that we'll see today is, see how it's down here. It hasn't spiked. What I'm hoping for is that it will. What I'm hoping for is that it'll stay down at these levels and won't go up, because this is still very bearish. I mean, bullish for the market, bearish for volatility. Okay. So you're going to keep an eye on the bond market, on the crypto market. You're going to see how the stocks react after the first 45 minutes of the day. And you're going to look at the relationship between RSP and MAGs. And RSP was, by the way, stronger an hour ago than they were right now. So again, and we want to take out the highs of all the indexes from yesterday. I think I'm being as clear as day. All right, I got to get to work, but let me give you stocks that I'm looking at to the downside. And again, it was easier to find. Most of the stocks to the upside are overextended, really choppy, and are not congruent. To the downside, I was able to find some goodies. AES, Monster Beverage, a little choppy, just FYI. I got three consumer staples for you. Please only pick one. I got Hershey's, I got Conagra Brands, and I got STZ, and they all look fantastic to the downside. They really do. They all look fantastic. I don't know what time he talks. I don't know what time he talks. Um, SG, nice breakdown. Finally broke the 200. Western Union. Western Union's not looking all that great. It's a little choppy, but trends pretty well. Not good for day trading because of all the wicks, but trends pretty well. Dyna, DYN. Nice looking stock. Las Vegas Sands. I know, I'm rubbing it in. It looks fantastic. I wish I didn't get rid of this stock. Like, there would be no reason for me to dump this stock yesterday, okay? Like, the last thing I would have done was dump the stock yesterday. Look at this, it's a beauty. This is the stock we were short yesterday. And I dumped it because I thought earnings were last night. BEP. No, this is the wrong ticker symbol. BP. This is the right ticker symbol. Yeah, that's the right ticker symbol. Brookfield, PLL. It's looking beautiful. Remember, this is an ADR. ADR. It's a foreign stock. It's an ADR, although it's not China. It's you don't want to day trade this stock. Look at all the wicks, but it does trend pretty well. Stocks like this, you want to buy longer term options, but look at how well it trends when it trends. It trends pretty well. Not a choppy stock. Regeneron, beautiful stock. Does not, on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of trending, this one gets like a 9.5, right? Look at how well it trends. Look at how well it trends, right? Thanks, Eagle Beagle. I appreciate it. All right, now let me give you longs. And again, it was not easy to find good longs today, even though we have 147 of them breaking out. Decker, Google. Again, I'm not like Amazon. Made an all-time high yesterday, by the way. NBIS. Marvel. And again, it took me a while to find these stocks. I'm not loving any of my stocks to the upside that much. This one looks okay, but again, I'm not loving these stocks. The downside list looks a lot better to me than the upside list. This one looks pretty good, but again, look, below, yeah, everything's below yesterday's low. I want it to be above yesterday's high. DXCM, this one I think is starting to come back on our list. Nope. You have a good trend till the 200 days. So if you're going to do this stock, make sure to take profit at the 200 day. So you still have about 5 points left. SLM. That's a nice one. That's a nice looking stock. It's a nice looking stock. Nice looking stock. Would have been better right here, but nice looking stock. EBX. This is for today. Dropbox looks fantastic. TDS. I mean, there's a few good ones, but that one looks really nice. And this one looks really nice. As I said, it was not easy for me to find these stocks today on the long side. This one looks good. Some of these look good. Dr. Serena says these are buys. They should be on your watch list until they meet other buy criteria. Exactly. And I go over what criteria, and we talk about that all the time. Folks, let me give you some links. At 2 p.m., I'm going to give you 3 gap stocks that I really like right now. In the VIP room at noon, I'll be talking about gaps as well. Again, today's going to be about gaps. And please, 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 please do yourself a favor. Check out Customer Service Live, the Cam and Gustavo show. They will help you trade better. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. If you have a question, roger@rogerscott.com. And I'll see you later, and I'll be around all day today till my gym time, till about 3:40. So you guys will hear plenty of me today. Bye, everybody, and thank you for the letters of concern yesterday. But I was fine. I had a haircut, as you could see yesterday, and I had a couple of important meetings that I had to get through with our German staff. Bye, guys. Have a great day. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for supporting us. Love you all. It's a frustrating time right now. The markets are not easy to trade. Wait till we take out the highs from yesterday on the stocks and wait for the gap to start getting filled on the indexes, okay? Bye, guys. Keep an eye on the bond market today and keep an eye on volatility intraday. I'll see you. And most importantly, stay out of trouble. No monkey business. Promise me, no monkey